It's a beautiful day for a PVM, a beautiful night for a maybe. Welcome to life. Welcome to life. You should call all your friends and your family kin and even tag along the baby. Welcome to life. Welcome to life. I've been hoping for a moment just like this. I know this conversation will not miss. If you groove something like the way that I've been grooving today, indubitably, I think I must say, welcome to life, welcome to life, welcome to the maybe. Welcome, please. Welcome, please. Please welcome thee to the maybe. Hello, neighbor. Welcome to PVM Live. Positive vibes, maybe. I'm Jeide, and one half of your gracious hosts of the evening. I bid you salutations. What's going on with y'all? Tyler J sings. What's going on with you, love? How you living? It's a little cold out there. I got a little tear coming out my eyes. Either that or I haven't listened to the theme song from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood in quite a long time, and I just caught me a nostalgic, emotional reaction. You know what I'm saying? So, as usual, just sending out the invitations to all the folk that rock with us and to a few that, may be interested in doing so. Seeing what's good, Bang, bang. Quite like that. And we could just hit that road. So tonight's conversation, we're going to talk about friends. I should put that up as well, huh? And this conversation topic was suggested by Dash. So shout out to fam. You know what I'm saying? That Africa butterfly, what's going on with you, love? So we're going to get into the ins and outs, what it means to be a good friend, what it means to have good friends, the ins and outs of the relationships and the dynamics that entail friendship, especially considering growth, transformation, and how it looks like in as much of a regard as we can fit into an hour slot, hour and a half. You know how it go. But for now, we about to bring the fam up in the building. Dash, what's going on? Did Dash better not have just disappeared. About to make me sing the theme song again. Well, until Dash comes back up in here. You know what I'm saying? The topic of the conversation really did have me thinking a lot today. You know what I'm saying? Because none of us are without, accountability as far as where we are, as far as being friends, whether we've been good friends, bad friends, whatever the case may be, And there's this narrative that's pretty toxic about, people wanting to cut people off just because, this person wasn't here for me and, but, like a wise woman and a loved one told me, my lady, like, the fuck, were you there for them? Or even deeper than that, and more accurate to be fair, did you let them into your life as far as what you were going through before you could even say that? You know what I'm saying? And that's something I had to check myself on. What's the theme song? I was singing a remix to Mr. Rogers' theme song, the African Butterfly song, you know what I mean? That's how I opened up the live. But I had to check myself because something happened like a couple of days ago, actually. And a homie hit me up and was just like, yo, you gonna be in the town, you gonna be in the city, I. And I was like, bro, why would you? But then I had to check myself. I didn't even tell him about my situation. He don't even know that I don't live in Philly no more. He don't even know what happened to my mom. So I had to check myself. And in doing so, I explained it to him in such a way where, I allowed him to understand where I am. Completely different than where I was the last time we spoke. You know? Orisha Goddess, what's going on with you, love? So that's just the tip of the iceberg. And since Dash is in the building now, started. Ha! Let's get it started in here. You know what I'm saying? Come on with it, fam. Look at this. Look at it. Look at it.
What's good with you?
Hey, shit, fam. Yo.
How you living?
Yo. Now that's me. I had to put my indeed do not disturb on my fault. I just had to make sure that we're gonna be smooth. No phone calls, no text message, nothing that's gonna interrupt this live and shit. So pardon me, y'all. That was me. But what's going on with you?
Not much, just living large, living large. Selena, what's good with you? Thank you for the birthday wishes from both of us. Oh, living good, living good. You know, just trying to stay out the way, trying to this whole week has been entertaining, you know. So right now I'm on a high, you know. Shout out to my Sixers, you know, my man James Harden making me a static man. Over the week. Yeah, 2 games in the book. We looking like superstars. You know, I'm cool with that, you know.
We're gonna light some sand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's bring it
Oh
back.
yeah. I got the victory part.
Light your blood. I like go put something in the air. You need.
But this week has been good, like shout out to everything that's happened this week. Oh yeah, I'm actually forgetting what it actually was, but the lady who got appointed to office, I forgot her name. Congratulations to her. Ooh, Mother Body, what's up with you, love?
What you love, lady Scorp Kendra, what's going on, love? How y'all living?
But yeah, it's been a good week though. It's been a real good week though. Real chills, real relaxing. No complaints. It's actually been a positive vibe this week though. How everything been with you?
Everything has been exactly how it should be. Kia knows things is going on with you, love. And by I mean, ups and downs as far as, just life things and shit, but it was all necessary for personal growth, all necessary for me to understand exactly where I need to be and for me to I want to say respect it and to acknowledge that where I am now isn't where I was before. So it's necessary for certain things to be instead of for certain things to have the same precedence and same priorities as they used to have. You know what I mean? Because shit, we no longer there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's true. That's true. You kind of gotta grow and evolve. You know, see some things not for you as you move along. Then you outgrow some things. You know, some things outgrow you. You know, that's part of life. Change.
And
You
it's
know.
kind of
Huh.
talking about, you know what I'm saying, as far as friends go, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like, if you will, could you lead us into understanding what was going through your mind and your heart when you decided to choose this topic for us today, man?
Well, it wasn't really nothing that was going through my heart. Like this is why our executive producer, Kaang, he's gonna be joining us on the show because this is actually a situation he was going through. But as he was reciting, okay, so me and King was on the phone this morning. And he called me in the middle of my breakfast, as I do for the family on Sundays. So I'm cooking up the middle of breakfast. So he called me and he dropped some gems on me. He like, yo, play, I gotta get some shit off. Like, so I'm like, all right, get your shit off. Like, so as he telling me about the situation, like, I'm not being triggered, but I'm like I'm noticing a pattern from what he's telling me from experiences I went through. And I'm just like, ooh, this not match. This is I went through that same situation. So like without like revealing too much of his situation, like we just shared a lot of similarities within the conversation where I was just like, you know what is a friend? Because like at the end of it, me and him had a clear understanding of, you know, what a friend should be in certain situations. But the oppositional party had a completely different idea. So it was just like, okay, where do you get lost in the dynamics of friendship to be like, okay, someone is dropping the ball, or maybe they don't know, you know, like the ball is coming their way. Like, because sometimes you could just be walking in your own world unbeknownst to it, and you just moving at your own pace. You're not even focused on what the person is saying to you or doing to you. So you're like moving in your own space that you kind of lose. I'm kind of searching for the right word, but you kind of lose track of what the other person is trying to even get over to you, like, or even trying to translate to you, I guess, you know. But that was pretty much the biggest situation. It was really a communication uh, breakdown, but it's just like, how do you get to that communication breakdown if you're friends, you know? And then when we brought it to the group chat, that's when, you know, obviously Murph and you started adding on to it, and it was just like, oh yeah, like, we gotta add more onto it because I believe it was Murph who said something about like sometimes how distance can cause a wedge in the friendship, and I was just like, yeah, that's a big point too because I've had that issue as well, and that really made me want to tap into this conversation. Cause I was just like, I've really had an issue with friends in the past that have an issue that we don't communicate as much because time has passed. And it's just like we're all adults at this point now, like, and it's just like, you know, like while you had things that's going on in your life, I had things going on in my life, and you know, sometimes you just don't even get the time to communicate because schedules don't allow, you know. But as a friend, do you hold a grudge because you can't talk to your friend, or do you just be like, you just pick up where things are when you do link up with them, you know?
Nah, I feel that.
So with that, I open the floor to you, gentlemen.
Speaking of which, man, the one and only, the legend, the myth, the man, the groove himself. What's going
Executive producer.
What's up with you beautiful people this evening? You know what I'm saying? Yo, man.
What's good with you, player?
Man, you already
So,
know.
oh,
on that's like floating right now?
I'm about to join y'all fellas. Like,
But
Yo, man. Because
let's
I
start the
definitely heard
vibes.
that. You know what I mean? Definitely heard y'all very clearly. I'm sorry. I want to get the speaker up so I can hear y'all clearly. There we go. Um, give me one
that's
second.
that I was thinking about myself. What you said, that Murph said, Dash. You know, as far as you know, I mean, like you be on some living your life, living their life, and y'all but comes up. You know what I mean? You ain't out it out. Like, man, but yo, communicate ways, like, you know. But that also comes with the accountability of being able to say, look, I ain't been reaching out either. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
in a personal state of affairs, I know that there's like rings of friends, if you will, that I'm coming to terms with, to coming to grip with, right? The first ring is people that I didn't immediately tell about my situation. I know that shit gonna fall to the wayside. Like, it is what it is, because those people weren't that close to me to begin with. Because when I was going through it, I knew who to reach out to. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And then within that circle of the people that I reached out to, there are people within that circle that can't go. You know what I'm saying? Because I reached out to certain people, and at the time, they didn't know how to speak to my heart. They didn't know how to speak to my spirit. They didn't know how to open up a space for me at that time. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, shit, I gotta sit in a place where it's like, we used to be cool, but where I am now, quite literally, you know what I'm saying? I'm with family right now as I'm where I am now, it just doesn't resonate with where I was before as far as our consistent connection. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to that, it's like, yo, I can't even use that as far as like, yo, pick, you could have called me. It just is what it is.
Yeah. And you can't hold that. I see. I don't like. See, that's what I'm saying. You can't hold that against another person. Now, it is exceptions to the rules. Like if we busting it up every day, and then one day you just immediately go ghost, then yeah, I might feel like entitled somewhat to like at least a text or a phone call saying, "Yo, like this is why I haven't been reaching out." Like if I just stopped out of nowhere, like then I would assume the person who just stopped would at least reach out, when they get the chance to. But otherwise, I'm not holding a grudge. We picking up where we left off at. Like it's just gonna be like that. Like I'm just gonna leave it where it's at. Cause like if you really my friend, you're not really holding on to that. Now, that's why I was just like, Shell, how much can we go into the situation of yours? Like
Listen, right?
because I'm gonna be talking in circles if I don't tap into like a smidge part of it. Like,
listen. I'll send the line of motherfucking clarity through the line. You know what I mean?
okay,
So the reason we here today for like discussing friends with y'all and with each other is because what happens when you literally change? Not like when you're in growth, not like when you're developing, but like when something shocks the system that has to now be handled with reality. Who you may deem a part of your life, right? Because I'm slowly moving away from titles more and more just because I've seen how they screw emotions. Like titles begin to skewer emotions and make it hard for you to understand what somebody is. You know what I mean? And as you begin to actually hit these markers, like Jeide said, it's certain people he could talk to, but then it's just because as you're hitting these markers, time doesn't wait for you to allow yourself to be comfortable to make a conversation work. You know what I mean? Time doesn't evaluate the space for you to exist and allow something that doesn't really add to continue to travel with you. You know what I mean? Friend is an interesting word because literally it is nothing more than saying, I respect you there. That's it. It's not about this grand, like, let me go run and jump off a bridge. For hell no. My mama raised me quite differently. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? Like, sorry, you got any problems you can take them up with my mama. Like, I'm directing all issues with how to design to Virgie. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, you might want to call Virgie. I don't even think she gonna answer because when you get to her, she gonna be like, what's your problem? With who? With him? Like, yeah, you must not have known that. All right, well, but that's what I was raised on. I was raised in a house where we didn't have to run around and say I love you to each other. You know what I mean? Like we would just leave the house and say bye. To this day, I could call Virgin by Virgin. I'ma holler at you. This is my mom I'm talking about. And she'll say ever. And one day I was like, yo, I don't even really tell my mom I love her. That's interesting. But in the same breath, I don't have to. Because I'm a person of action and motion. How I carry, how I move, that is my word. That is what I do. So if I say something, it means something. A lot of us have people that they have deemed something to them in this world. And when they say things, they're speaking for speaking's sake. So when things reach their bridge, it gets ugly. And when you're dealing with someone who's being direct with you, it don't work because now what they saying or what I was saying was being received as how could that be if you're not doing X, Y, X, Y? And in reality, I can't do the lap thing no more. Like my brain don't do like same sentence unless we laughing and it's a joke being repeated. You know what I mean? But if you bringing an issue to the table, I need not just clarity, but progression in conversation. You know what I mean? I need correct tone, correct manner. You know what I mean? Certain things don't have to explode if you speak correctly. Knowing someone changes the definition of how you handle things. But if you assume that someone is entitled to know you and accept you for how you want to deal with something, well, yeah, you automatically setting yourself up for a hard left or a hard right where paths will split just because actions wasn't handled correctly. You know, man. I say all that to say, ladies and gentlemen, from here on out, you just label me the bad guy because I'm fine with it. Because like all the other like I can't do it. It's nothing there. It's real gray area. It's a real weird gray area where you lay in suspense waiting for someone to hit you up. And I was explaining to our brother Murph earlier. I was like, yo, you know what's crazy? People call me about certain shit, but when it's like 12:30 and I'm in a fucking garage trying to figure out how to make an airbag system work on a Benz, and I've been working all day, yo, there's nobody for me to solve this problem with but me. You know what I mean? No one to make that shit right but me or the motherfucker in the mix with me right the fuck now. Now who I can reach out and talk to tomorrow about it. You know what I mean? Which requires a lot of self, yo. People talk self-help, self-what, and they be so selfless that there's literally less of self within them. You know what I mean? That altered emotions hurt them, hurt hard for a lot of folks, yo. You know what I mean? I'm used to shit being like, it's fucked up. Damn, like, you ain't even give me no warning. Like, I just walked in the room. I answered the phone. Hello? Yeah, bro, let me tell you. Damn. Like, it was nice outside, bro. I'm watching the fucking trees. Why you gotta call me with this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's life. It don't grant you that privilege to being able to just say, yo, you know, fuck it. No, you answer the phone. I got a homie, Corey. That's my dog. All through high school. Bust bullshit. He one of the first motherfuckers that ever heard me freestyle because we was laughing at niggas in high school. And I was like, bro, my cousins do this shit. They so much better. But he got a wife. He got a family. He got a whole world going on. Me and him has talked about getting up just to grab something to eat so he can decompress from that world. But that world is so vast and moving. I don't even know all the in and outs of it because he has to handle that 24/7. You know what I mean? Like he's in there. That's his wife. That's his mother-in-law. They are making a situation come to light to work for them. Would I look like being mad at my dog because I ain't heard from him, but he in the trench right now? You know what I mean? I'll call him, leave a voicemail. He hit me back when he hit me back. He already know. You know what I mean?
To that effect, that groove and what you talking about, it reminds me of a situation with a brother that I considered my brother. I still do, but you know, once again, being in the space where it's no longer a gray area, it's like, man, look, where I'm at is where I'm at, and if we can reconnect in such a way where it makes sense, we will. And if we can't, we can't. Uh, he's going through his own shit. You know, we all got our shit that we going through and
Right.
whatnot, right? But he has a tendency sometimes to snap at me in certain types of ways because I might not understand his situation. Or he has a certain type of way of being passive. Like, I'll give y'all an example. The struggles back for me was when he reached out. And I will say that he's one of the people that periodically would reach out just to check on me. But it made me realize, I was like, I don't know how genuine this is that you reaching out on me if you respond in this way. So he reached out to me. He's like, yo, bro, like, just checking to see if you good or whatnot. I'm like, yo, I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm like, how are you doing? And once before he actually snapped on me from asking him how you doing. I don't know why the fuck, but you know, I kind of, that was, you know what I mean? But this time when I asked him how you doing, he was like, "Oh man, just checking on you, you know what I mean? Cause niggas ain't gonna check on me if I don't check on them." I thought about that statement.
Okay.
Charged it to him. I didn't have to do what I did, people, but I did this. I charged it to him, and I was like, "You right. I wouldn't reach out to you if you ain't reach out to me. Cause where I'm at, I don't got the space for that." And he snapped on me in such a way that made me go, "You know what? Right now, I'm in a place right now. And I agreed with you because I thought you understood where I was. Because he was one of the few people you know what I mean, I told about my situation and shit. I was like, but since this is where you at right now, and man, let's just keep it like this until you in a better place and I'm in a better place. And he tried to reach out to me the next day. I don't know if he was drunk, lit, whatever the fuck. And he tried to reach out to me in such a way where it was like, you know what I'm saying, like kind of like sweep it under the rug. But I really don't have the time for it. My lady told me something ill today. She was like, yo, you gotta move like you got something to lose. Move like you lose. You understand exactly what it is. You move like you got something to lose. Some people can't go with you. You can't rock with certain connections. Because the more I'm trying to carry all this shit going, you know what I'm saying? There's something ahead that I need to be there for in time. I need to be there for in time because it requires for me to care for them. I need to be there in time because, man, the seed that's in the soil ain't going to understand if I'm too busy to water it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The soil ain't going to if I'm too busy to give it the fertilizer that's needed. It's just going to wither if I care for it at a timely fashion. So I need to be there on time. I can't be there on time if I'm carrying all this shit with me. Especially the people that are with me that I'm carrying this shit for or with aren't helping me carry this shit. You know what I'm saying?
And like to what you speaking, I would literally stand in the light and say, yo, I did not reach out. I did not reach out. But what the fuck does it matter? I didn't cut off. I didn't stop. I just was focusing on my fucking thoughts. I'm not combating my honesty. You know what I mean? Only a fool argues when they're innocent.
Mm.
You feel me? Like, if you combat something, most of the time, people equate that to you're trying to prove that what I'm saying is indifferent.
Right.
I've begun to stop trying to prove indifferences and be like, yo, that right there, that's where I was at. I don't know where you going, but I'm right here. You know what I mean? So I feel you.
I mean, that's all you can do at the end. I mean, as you get older, you get tired of fighting. Like arguments, the stuff we used to fight about that seems so important earlier in life don't mean much when you get older and it start like how your lady was saying when you start moving with a purpose. You know, like you start being like, do I really got time for this argument? Do I really got time for this shit? Like, literally, like if I can't call you, like, and we just pick up and have a good time, then like, why do I really need you? Like, really at this point, because like most people, we're looking for like a sense of peace and relaxation, especially like when we leave whatever we're doing, like whether that's raising kids, whether that's working, whether that's whatever. Like you want a sense of peace and clarity. Like you don't want nobody badgering you, being like, yo, making it seem like you're in a whole nother relationship. Like, why you haven't reached out to me? Like, that's my priority. Like, I wake up in the morning with the sole purpose of let me reach out to you. Why didn't you reach out to me if you feel you need to talk to me? You know, like the phone works both ways. And like the both of y'all, I share experiences where that's happened. So like, I don't. My feelings for it is a little annoying because it's just like, you know, like unless I intentionally told you to expect a call or a text from me, don't expect it. Like, you know, unless we kind of develop that rapport. Like, and like I said, like if I'm talking to you every day we having conversation, then yeah, if I immediately just stop one day, then yeah, I do owe you clarification as to why. You know, simply just because it was just a pattern, you know. And that's just out of respect of our relationship. Like that I feel entitled to do that. Nothing else more than that. Like I don't feel obligated to do that. That's just more of a look, I respect our relationship, so I'm gonna give you this explanation. But like even if I don't, like if we're friends, like charge it to the game, like.
Now, I'm gonna agree with you because like, I've been thinking on and off all day about like where I would reach a point in this thought to like actually for it to not be worth the time and linger, but for the time it actually bothered me. And it became the fact that, you know what, yo, I'm going to stand on the fact that what I learned from this is that it's on me to let a motherfucker know where I would be involved in your life at. You know what I mean? Like just on some real life shit.
But I think you kind of do, like, cause you do when you start establishing your boundaries, like, and I think that's more so on the receiver of the person not hearing you, you know, or you know, thinking they like are the exception to these rules, like, and it's just like no, like once I established or I told you what my boundary is, like once you cross it, like don't expect me to break my boundary for you, like no, it's a boundary for a reason, like.
Yeah. Yeah, but also we have to respect those boundaries ourselves, and I say that to say, um, and things have changed. I'm speaking to myself when I say this, you know, but you try to move in such a way as if things haven't changed or whatnot. It's like mixed signals. You know what I'm saying? Like being on the end, like what Sheb was saying, as far as like that whole awkward feeling of like anticipation of, oh, are they gonna hit me up? You know, should I hit them up? You know what I'm saying? Like, and that energy is so unworth it. You know what I'm saying? That energy, it don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause what if?
Well, only make you unnecessarily anxious, like. That's why I like look, my thing is like if I'm thinking of you, like I'm just gonna reach out to you. Now, what you choose to do, like whether you choose to pick up or respond, that's your choice. But I at least like whatever in me was calling for me to like think of you or want to reach out, I'm gonna do that. You know, like and then I leave it in your hands at that, you know, like because all I can do is my all you can do is extend that olive branch, you know, like if
Yeah.
somebody gonna be receptive to it or not is really up to them at that point, you know.
Mm,
Now,
And then you also gotta be mindful. People are always going through something, so I always hate that when people jump on you for not reaching out because it's like, dog, you don't know what I'm going through over here. Like it might be reasons I didn't reach out to you. I might be going through hell over here where I can't reach out. I might not be in a mental space to reach out. Like it might not be nothing positive I could give you because I'm barely hanging on myself. So what am I going to offer you? You know, like so I always hate that narrative or like why people feel like they're entitled to your free time. You know.
mm,
no, what I was gonna say though, so you know, a lot of the problems we have in my opinion, come from the accessibility of phones and all this shit that exists now. Because in 1920, when a nigga had to write a letter that took 7 days to get to you, how did you determine who was your friend? You know what I mean? Like, how did you determine things that it took about a week for the mail carrier to trot this joint? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
like for real. Like, there's to me, I don't know how the rest of the world feel, but 12 months ain't shit.
It ain't.
You know what I mean? Life is long as a motherfucker, bruh. And 12 months ain't shit. I don't give a damn.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
not. Them jokes
like,
be flying.
right? A person who has a child, by the time the school year is over, they have experienced goddamn a whole year. Like, the separation in my mind, for real, is that we are over reliant on someone reaching out just because of accessibility. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, I'm pretty sure a motherfucker would see somebody and then see that motherfucker 4 years later and be like, "Oh shit, I thought you was dead. What's good with you, bro? Like I didn't even know you was still out there." There wasn't no cell phone. There wasn't no instant communication. If I called your house and you wasn't there, you ain't have an answering machine. You didn't even know if I called or not. Yet you still may greet me as that person that you knew me as. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, dog, it wasn't for what we on right now, these goddamn phones where I can see all three of you damn near like I'm sitting in the goddamn house with y'all. Shit would be different, y'all.
Well, you're only looking at two of us, you know,
Yeah, I
like
know.
unless you
I
looking.
was about, you know what I mean?
Hold on. Let me see if I can get into some of these comments though, because they definitely. Davis, thank you for letting me in and out a little bit. I appreciate you. And that African butterfly also for letting me know I needed to get up a little close, so that was on me. But Miss Davis said I you the friendship because of that, but I had to lash out, so I had to part ways. Yeah, I don't do lash outs, and I know that was most likely in reference to you know what I mean to homeboy and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like y'all know me for years. I don't do that. Like I'm not the type to get loud with you. I'm not the type to even tap on you on some dumb shit if I'm going through some shit. And it happens here and there, but not to the degree that I be disrespectful. Because once you get disrespectful, like it's like I'm looking at you with different lenses. Like disrespect is a different lens. I don't
Yeah,
family. I don't equate that with you know what I'm saying. Like with friends, if I love you like that. Like you may take it that way, but if you hear what I'm saying, you know it's coming from a place where I myself am disturbed.
yeah,
So I'm just coming off from that disturbance. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with you usually. It's just a resonance from my disturbance. You know what I'm saying? And still working it out. But that African butterfly also said sometimes people take others' silence personally and don't realize it has nothing to do with them. It's hard though when you think you're close to someone and they seem to cut you off. Facts. Everyone encourages boundaries until it's used to keep them out or stop them from getting what they want. Mm. And
yeah,
that's Pretty Rude said, plus everybody wasn't meant to have access to everyone. People were happier and got along better before instant access. That's a fucking fact, yo. That's
Yeah, but I do like the new wave of communication though. Like, don't get me wrong, like FaceTime do be money in the bank at times. Like,
no, it's fire. I'm not knocking it. I'm not denouncing it. I'm just giving it its charge. Like Jeide said, how he charged John. I'm charging it. It has
oh
to.
yeah, but I will say that it is responsible for a lot more breakups because relationships, even like romantic relationships, like couples will go like 14, 15 hours a day not talking, like because the husband at work, the mom at the crib. My man wouldn't see her. He'd be leaving out the crib at like 5 in the morning, getting back at like 8, 9, 10 at night. Like they was happy as could be, or at least that's how it was projected to us. Like my man barely was talking to her. Like really, when was they hanging out on the weekends?
but that's the thing. Like to answer that, or even to give a bit of a nuanced understanding to that. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be doing self work, your damn self. You got to be charging and chasing your own purpose and shit. You know what I mean? A relationship isn't contingent upon how much time you spend, or like how well you cling to a person. It's like, hey, I love you. We rocking on this road, but look, respect the fact I'm an individual, you an individual. We had to become individuals. We had to be individuals before we could become one. You know what I'm saying? And in that, I have my responsibilities, you have your responsibilities. But at the end of the day, I got your back, you got my back. So it's like playing spades. You know what I'm saying? You don't talk over the board, but how you play your card lets your partner know that you're paying attention and that you're mindful.
I like good reference. That's a good reference.
It's the best reference. They need to put space on motherfucking like Emmanuel. You know what I mean? Learn the rules of hood. You know what I mean? You can figure out how to play hood spades good. You might do all right with communicating with
Everybody can't play spades good though. Like I think we had that as a topic on here not too long ago. Like
Yep.
so that's that and that and lies the problem, like most times your partner don't know how you're playing your cards. So they don't know where you're at. So like
Right
you're
there.
already off kilter. Like because
But
you
right
guys are in the line to begin with. You said
before
what?
you before you sit down to play a game of spades and you picking partners, first of all, if you ever notice all good spade players usually be in a room with their partner. That's the most interesting one I ever figured. Number two, most people who never played spades before, when they play spades together because they play seriously with a person they don't know, there's a pre-conversation. I'm vicious on yo, you play spades before? Like, which you walk, dog? Like I don't know you, so I need an actual breakdown of your analysis of who you are. Now, That may seem like too much work for every person you meet in this world, ladies and gentlemen. I get that, because that's a lot
No,
of.
but if you're the idea, if you're playing the game of spades, you're playing it with your partner. So this is ideally someone you want to invest in. So ideally, this is someone you will want to take the time to get to know. Like you want
Facts.
to know their quirks. You want to know
But watch
how
this.
they gonna move.
What if a motherfucker plays the game but don't even know how they play? They play on the whim of the moment and not like with an actual strategy in mind to destination.
I told you before, that's dangerous. Because you for real, like you moving too reckless. Like you moving too reckless. Like I you need some type of consistency. Like even the most even all right, for instance, in sports, like even the most potent offense has some type of structure to it, like a home base they can always go to of like, look, if we doing all this extra stuff and it's not working, we know XYZ, that's money in the bank every time. Like you need to have that. Like you need to have that some type of stability. Like you need a foundation to build upon. Like you can do whatever, but you need a strong foundation at, at the ground level, and then build upon that. Like,
Hey man,
Gentlemen,
average costs a lot of money. That's all I can say.
it's right quick. We're gonna jump right back into it. But Pretty Rule is saying, I hate FaceTime. It's awkward. Distance is healthy. Space means nothing when it's love. Ooh. Said
that's true. But I love FaceTime still.
you can love someone loyally across the world. It's about intention. Super fact, super fact. That African butterfly said the problem with instant access is that people feel like it means you have to respond. Just because you have access to me via technology doesn't mean I'm available. Super fact. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I feel
that's true.
entitlement that comes with technology too. Just because you feel like you got the, I don't want to make it about bread, but just because you feel like you got the bread to be logged in and plugged into this world and this network, don't mean that you could just walk into my crib anytime you want. You got to knock first. And if I don't give you that access to open the crib, don't mean that you could just walk in and just make my home your home. There's still a decorum. You know what I'm saying? There's still an etiquette about this shit. Mother Body said, I don't have to talk to my real friends every day. My friends know my heart, and rather we go years without talking, we will pick it back up like nothing ever happened. I know this that I got like that. They here right now. It just so happens that it makes sense for us to be in constant communication. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I have where we doing our own thing. We reconnect. Shout out to Unir Gaines. Unir Gaines is a homie like that. Shout out to King. We go off for months, and it's just like whatever. We might say something here on the DMs here and there and whatnot, but we go months without talking to each other. And then when we talk, man, that shit like we just talked the other day.
That's real friendship.
And the reason why that shit don't change, let's keep things all the way funky. Chev touched upon it a little bit, and it also resonates to something that I truly believe in. I don't trust when motherfuckers go too much into back in the day. I don't trust that because why the fuck are you still there? When the whole thing is about progression. If we both progressing, we don't got time for back in the day. So when we get back together, we like, yo, my nigga, I've been doing this, that, and that. Oh yeah, word? Yo, bro, I've been doing that. Oh yeah. Look, Chev, don't I be telling you that it be periods of time we don't talk, and every time we talk, it's like, yo, the
Yeah,
same we going through, it just happens to connect because we both working.
it's literally times when I reach out to Jeide, and I just, my bad. I touched the screen. Don't ask me why. It was a bad idea. It was a bad idea. But Jeide would be
Oh
like, yo,
shit.
fam, that shit's crazy. I was thinking something very similar to that. And I'd be like running a gazillion miles that way. And he'll literally be like on a mountaintop somewhere looking over the side of the world. And be like, yo, yeah, I feel that same way. That shit hit me like 4 days ago. How long you been thinking about it? because I'm not relying on him to be here as when I need him, or with Dash as when I need him. I need them to be living their life. Like, people are great when they are living their individual life, because now you have something to share when you reconvene. You know what I mean? Like, there's a conversation to be had. If nothing has been different, like life-changing different, in the last 12 months of you not talking to someone, or 2 years, it's not really a convenience to run and tell someone something that you're not going to speak nothing new about. Because like Jeide just said, you're going to be right back. Yo, cuz, remember when? Bro, I didn't hear yo, cuz, remember when? I hear that shit every goddamn day from people trying to take a trip down memory lane, because dealing with the right now, where that shit ain't right now, fuck with them heavy. And they talk heavy, but they don't like dealing with how they feel right now.
No, that's true. And I'm glad you don't rely on us calling, because you know, like you'd be hating me, especially since I take like a day or two to reach back. Like,
All right, we're going to go there now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, folks, and people, I'm going to be real, very listening to you. Me and Murph had a conversation in the car this morning, and it was like, yo, for real, the expectancy that people put on friendship is actually lovers' partnership in today's terms. You know what I mean? Like, if we're going to really jump that
I'm
route,
glad you finally took it there, because I wanted to touch upon there, but you was kind of just skipping on the sidewalk.
because we got a whole hour. You know what I mean? We can't run to the point. We try to tell you. That's why I'm behind the camera and y'all front. You know what I mean?
I'm like, I wanted to come in just blazing, just going off with the with the chopper, just coming in, Tony Montana style. Like,
I got I'm very big on war. I'm not gonna lie, I don't care how people feel about it. I'm fascinated by it. From Dynasty War to the pre-century war, Churches War. I didn't look into all that shit. You know what I mean? It's not about fuck winning. Conserving your existence for your progression is what the conversation is. Fuck game is what the conversation is. Preserving your existence for progression. Every time you run through a door swinging and shooting, your chances of getting smoked is so high in contingency that for real, you can't even help to progress nowhere, because every door you running through, you trying to lay something down. Compared to stepping in the room, you may not even have to waste a bullet. You know what I mean? Like, innocent folk get smoked just because you running in rooms dumping. And that's real life. You know what I mean? Like, that's some shit from the real world.
That's a super fact, man.
But on that, John, lovers, friends, yes, your friends can have great admiration for you and very deep, defined love and care and compassion about you. But there are certain parts of it that you cannot put on them, especially when the lines of like, yo, okay, boom, this is friends. Cool, we're over here. This is in the world, fuck zone, the world of friend. I'm fine with that. But in that world, you don't get lovers' privileges. You don't get like someone seeking to be with one forever privileges. You're not allowed that access, because for real, you're taking that away from somebody doing that for the direction of where it actually pertains to them, or where it could call for them to be where they should be at.
And
that's a fact.
Anymore, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't spread the information. You can't spread the information, the element, and the groove the same way everywhere. Like, then what's sacred? What's going to be separate as far as what makes your lover feel like she's the one or like he's the one, as opposed to your best friend or as opposed to your homegirl or something? Like, come on.
Exactly. Like, it's just like, what else am I going to do once I get into that relationship? Then, like, I'm just, you're going to feel like the homie. Like, all that going to do is just create insecurities in your mate, because you haven't treated her or them to a level that was beyond your friends. Like, and then your friends are still gonna be expecting that same treatment, like
right,
because they're your friends, like.
right. I'm gonna keep it 100 funky with both of y'all. Y'all my brothers. I love y'all to death. But because I'm in a, there's shit that y'all don't know about, and y'all not gonna know about until the time comes.
Well, I mean, that's supposed to be how it is.
That's just what it is.
Yeah,
I
that's a relationship. Yeah.
honor her. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's my lover. You know what I mean? That ain't my homie. Yes, that's my homie, but she's more than. And because I love y'all to death, this shit that motherfuckers is outside of us as far as the family ain't never gonna know about. And that is what it is. Because I honor y'all. And it just comes with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Once you start spreading, and that even falls into the world of accessibility. Once you start spreading that shit, you spread yourself thin. You start draining yourself. And not everybody's going to be able to acknowledge you draining them. The only thing they're going to do is come back with they soup bowl and, hey, you gave me soup yesterday. Why can't you give me some soup today?
I do you one better.
Oh, you changed.
No,
Oh,
I
you
do.
changed.
I do you one better. You get
Really
carrots.
funny as shit. You change because the niggas is quick to tell you you change because you don't allow the same accessibility to them. It's just like no, well, yeah, because obviously, like my
Yes,
life is changing. Like I'm changing every fucking day.
that's
I'm not the same person I was a minute ago, but at the same time, I also just don't feel like being bothered with you, and that's okay.
And
That
that's
is
okay.
okay.
for sure. For sure. Yeah, man. Because like Jeide just said about that soup, motherfuckers blow your mind, right? You give a motherfucker 3/4 of a bowl of soup, and he want to know about somebody else that got 8/16, and it's like, bruh, do you want a little bit more? They got 3 carrots in their soup. How come I ain't get 3 carrots? Bro, you want 3 carrots? Like,
So you can't even win when you got that mindset though, because you're
where's
too worried about somebody else plate and what they doing and what they receiving. Like people like that typically don't. Their dreams and stuff don't start to formulate in their life because like you're too concerned about what the next person doing. Like you're not even worried about what your assets are because like what I'm good at, you're not good at, and vice versa, like. So what you receive, I'm not going to receive. I'm going to receive in my own way. Like, but when you prioritizing your energy and your time into what another person got, like you taking
now?
away time where you could be investing in yourself. Like,
Let me ask y'all two a question. Inside of dealing in the world of friends, because for real, it's a good thing. It's a social part of being humans. Humans, like there's layers of being human and socializing and having people to go socialize with. That's all real shit. I respect it. But isn't it interesting that people who you don't know for longer is way easier at letting it be? Motherfuckers, you meet 3 people away from the person you met. It's real fine with just like letting it be. And when you see them like, yo, oh shit, bro, how you been? Or how you know what I mean? It's very interesting to me. Like to me, I find that very interesting.
Fact. That's a fact. That African butterfly has an interesting question for all of us. She said that,
Right?
but I have a question. Do you guys tell your girlfriends everything? Like your friend's business? I keep it all the way funky. First of all, my lady don't got no time to be that inquisitive. You know what I mean? That's one. And she knows, like, she just intrinsically knows that there's certain things that she doesn't need to know. You know what I mean? For example, my lady might ask, is Dash in a relationship? I don't know. Or if he is, yeah, that's what it is. But she not gonna know about his personal life, about whatever Dash might have with his family, whatever Dash might have with this, that, and she's not gonna ask that either because that's not conducive to our growth. You feel me? It's a fine line between concern and gossip. I say it again. There's a fine line between concern and gossip.
I
I
know
agree
we
with
all
you there. Oh, go
about to
ahead,
go.
Chef.
Go
Oh,
go ahead.
oh,
Start talking.
I agree with you there, Jetty, too. Like there is a fine line, but I do feel like in any relationship, you kind of know your partner enough to know what you can share and what you can't share. Like Like if you know you got a chatty patty for a partner, you're probably not going to divulge too much because you know she's going to get the yapping at the gums. But if you got a mate who is going to, you know, like I can tell her something and she just going to keep it, you know, to herself or whatever, you know, it's just something that we just conversing about. Like, yeah, you can divulge that information to, like, trying to think have I ever had a partner like that. But uh, I do feel like you can have that type of stability in a relationship, like where you can share some information. Like I probably wouldn't be too like I won't get into too many details, but yeah, to understand like I probably would share more information about my friends to her, so she kind of got an idea of who I'm with, the type of people I'm around, and that in turn gives her a better idea of who I am and you know how I move around, you know. But even that is to you know your partner enough what to share and what not to share. You know, like I ain't gonna share my friends doing some dirt. Like if one of y'all was cheating on y'all mate, I ain't gonna go home and tell my honey and be like, look, baby, you know, Chef was over here dicking down the neighbor. Oh.
Oh shit.
Because boy, definitely gonna sound the same. What I will say on the topic of that, because like y'all have both touched it very well, and anything on top of that would be a third. So, what I would say to along with that, I seen a post going around that was saying like my lover is not my friend's my lover is not my homie's friend, and my best friend's wife isn't my friend, or it's some very interesting phrase meme like that. And I'm very mafia based and like raised in like family lifestyle. So for me, I agree with what y'all saying, but to an extent. For example, Jeide's in an actual relationship right now. Perfect example. At a certain point, the conversation between me and who his person is will be more and more and more to a point where Jeide does not have to worry about disclosing information because it's actual family shit going on. It's more based upon like it's not gossip. This is the mix of what everybody we got going on with. Because what I do to do something over here affects what Jeide does, then for affecting what does for her. Therefore, literally making a connection, but these aren't things you rush with misplaced information as people are making mistakes throughout life. These are patterns you're allowed to grow into pasture that everybody can gain from. You know what I mean? That it works. Because if I go in the grave, of course, I would love for one of my homies to be able to actually be there and not no fuck nigga. You know what I mean? To actually do real life shit, not no fuck nigga. Because watching people go in the grave, we ain't going all the way over here, but watching people go in the grave, as I've done for so many years, literally showed me a redundant pattern that only disappears when everybody in the room really fuck with everybody. You know what I mean? When it's like, yo, that's XY and XY wife. My nigga, back the fuck up. When somebody's in the room saying that, this shit's different. That environment is different. You know what I mean? That whole shit, we don't tolerate that. That shit's gone, bruh. And that's what I was raised in. So to cross back across where this shit is like, yo, being that way, fuck offensive. Respect is respect. You know what I mean? Them fine lines is real. You can share shit with your mate, but you can't run shit that ain't the conversation. You can't just go talking about things that are irrelevant to make bad decision of character that no one has had a chance to understand. You know what I mean? Like, that's the fact for me on that, John.
That's me slide comments though. Still clicking. Mariah, I confide in my man about whatever is bothering me. I have a lot that always come telling me their business, and it's draining. I need someone to vent to too. That's a fact, yo. And look, I also take accountability for the fact that that shit is real. As far as you know, what I mean, like if you have the type of spirit that people can come to and just talk, and they feel like they can get their shit off. You know what I mean? All right, I get it, but you know,
Who's texting?
I gotta get this shit off too because shit, you giving me a burden that this shit don't belong to me. You just ran up on me with the package like, here you go, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna
Jump out right behind them. You know what I mean? You doing 10 to 20. You doing 10 to 20, and you ain't even know. You just sitting there minding your motherfucking business. You could have been helping your mom get groceries out the car. Now you doing 10 to 20 because you held something for somebody running past. Get the fuck out of here with that shit, bro. Come on, man.
Real though. The African butterfly said, I'm nosy as fuck. I want to know everything about everyone, but I keep it to myself after that. I respect that. I do. And Pretty Rude said, to be honest, I've had men confide in me in their personal feelings, i.e. their relationships. Confide in your men, but they vent too about us to somebody.
We can
We gotta
talk.
create that space, you know,
We,
like y'all gotta have that space at the house that he could feel comfortable enough to talk to you, like, cause I feel like he don't feel comfortable enough because he either you making him feel less of a man, you ridiculing him, you making him on attack mode, like, or feeling like he can't really express himself without you feeling attacked, you know, like it could be a number of things. Like
I'm
I'm just
jumping.
spewing from my experiences now, like.
I'm gonna jump in on that though, cause like also I'm gonna hold him accountable for not being the one to open that doorway first. You know what I mean? Like we just talking about actually building something with somebody. If you
Well,
actually
we
build,
assuming he didn't try to.
I mean, we just got we can't take that off the table either though.
Oh, okay.
We can't take off the table that no one might have made that space available for us. Jeide's got superpowers.
I
All
know he
right.
went into whole effect mode right now.
You can't take that off the table though. Like it's on you to open that door. Now, if it isn't received well by your mate, you might want to start thinking about another mate. You know what I mean? If you and your mate can't be like, yo, I don't like what you did the other day, and like this the reason why, but like, I get why you was doing it. I'm just letting you know where I'm sitting with it. And y'all can't like discuss shit. Yeah, that may sound annoying as fuck, right? But you talking about somebody you want forever, not for tomorrow. So it's best y'all have conversations like this now so y'all can get more into the actual I don't have to speak because we already know where this is going. Like I fucked up, you right, I'm back. You know what I mean? Here, let me go ahead. I know what you about to say. I'm listening to you hear it, say it again, but I'm not receiving it harshly because we got an understanding that's up here, not down here, because we don't have no communication conversation. Like we ain't got no line.
You know what? I'm learning. I'm learning with more conversations to start asking people what they heard and how they received what I said to them. What I said to them, because like you can tell when in times when the conversation shifts just slightly, or when you lose a person, or where they feel a little annoyed or upset about something you said, and at that moment you kind of gotta be like, okay, what did you hear? What did you take from what I said? You know, and put that out there to them, but because sometimes they just get sometimes we carrying baggage, and you carrying so much baggage you haven't even let go of to be receptive of what this new person dropping onto you.
Mm, I could jam to that.
That's true.
I could definitely jam to that.
Careful who you tell stuff to because some people will throw that shit in your face real fast, especially with the friendship/relationship goes south.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, dude, that's being
but
mindful of your relationships though.
but here's the other thing, right? You got to be willing to gamble to love. That's just facts. Like you got to
Yeah.
be willing
Facts.
to actually see if love is real. You got to be willing to invest in something you know nothing about in reality to actually determine if this is actually love. Because love don't play a straight game. Love is literally throw it on
Love.
the hat, and now who stands is who stands. And I may get hurt, but I was honest. And people need
You
to get
gonna
more
get hurt.
of that part.
Yeah, you
You
will.
gonna get hurt.
You will. And let's
But
not
if I don't
let's
carry back stuff, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? I leave with
But
feeling,
yeah.
but I don't carry
You
back.
don't have to carry baggage, but you get hurt. You love is good. It's not bad. It's just it is what it is. Like you go and feel everything with love. Like you're gonna get every emotion. You're gonna get your rage. You're gonna get your happiness. You're gonna get your pain. You're gonna get your grief. You're gonna get your uplifting. It's gonna be everything. Like, but you gotta be willing to deal with that too. Like, like
there's a there's a meme, and this is gonna be to my point when I say let's be real. You know, love don't hurt. It's what comes with sitting in the honesty and the truth of love that actually fucks with people. Love itself don't hurt. Love is a beautiful thing. But when you dealing with situations in which you held things back, you got skeletons in the closet, you got things in which you used to move a certain type of way, and now you're dealing with a person or people that want to for you. And you have to come to terms with yourself. Because like Chev said, shit is honest. Love is honest. And you got to bring that shit to the forefront. And when you bring that shit to the forefront, you have somebody who loves you is telling you about yourself, not because they want to chastise you, but because there are some things that you need to face regarding yourself and how you move that's no longer going to cut it if we talking love. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to be a chess strategist with my lover. I do need to be like that if I'm outside in the world making moves, networking with motherfuckers, and I don't know who this person is versus this person. But when it comes to the people I love, what the fuck I look like if I gotta come back home and I'm still wearing the same armor I had to go out there to be war about? You know what I'm saying? But when you drop your armor, what that mean? When you drop your armor, that mean at any given point somebody could stab you, you gonna bleed out. But love is safe that that person ain't gonna stab you, so you don't need the armor.
Facts. But I like what you're talking about, though, right?
I love the way you worded that. It's so beautiful.
Like this. Why can't you know what I mean? Like I may be just crazy. I like spicy things, so this is about to be slightly spicy. Like when I get home, I got this battle armor on. I want to meet you with some armor on. You know what I mean? Like let's go at it real quick. Like it's been a lot. Let's go to war. Just because, like, yo, you know why? What's better than relieving that last piece of whatever with somebody you bang with, compared to like walking away from somebody you don't care nothing for? You know what I mean? And you're not doing it for danger. It's just to check to make sure, oh, all right, well, you know, tomorrow we got to fix that shackle because you might get hit back there. You know, there was a little sharp. You know what I mean? Like, oh, listen, you can help someone when you know someone. You know what I mean? When your interactions is more than hi, bye. What do you like? What do you like? You know what I mean? Like, that don't do nothing for nobody, man.
Not at all. Not at all. Gentlemen,
Yeah.
our barrier right now, and we've had a wonderful, fruitful conversation with everybody in the comment section and among ourselves. So, you know what time it is at this time around. You know what I mean? Before we close out, you know the tradition. Like to leave it with one lasting word, you know. So, if you don't mind, Kaang, pardon me. What's your one lasting word that you'd like to leave in this conversation?
Two places. First, I want to say thank you to everyone who commented and like came through with comments that made us even think and all that groovy shit. Always appreciate that. Much love to people who conversation is for everyone. And I'm glad y'all broke shit back for us to think about. Thank you. You know what I mean? And second of all, be honest with yourself. Like, everything else will figure itself out. And knowing being honest with yourself may cause some wars on you. But like it's cool because in the end of the day, when you go home and put your feet up after them walls, you ain't got no baggage to go forward with. You know what I mean? You just got scars that heal, and you're gonna get them.
Oh, yes, sir. Dad,
Yeah.
the lasting word that you'd like to leave on the table of this conversation.
Oh yeah. Well, before we even get up into that, shout out to T-Shirt Mercenary, you know, official sponsor of PVM Talk Show. Also, guys, until the end of this month, as long as you take a picture or do a screen recorded version showing that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, so you can be eligible to receive a free T-shirt from us as well. Just send a picture or a screen recording to the PVM DM, and we'll reach out to you from there. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel once again. And yeah, okay. Final lasting words, be patient and take your time, you know, and choosing your partner, you know. There's no rush. Like you aren't on the sprint, you know. sit with your partner, learn their quirks, understand what makes them tick, understand how their mind work, take the time to understand like what makes them happy, what makes them sad, when they need to be alone, when they need to be around people, like it's okay. Like, if this is someone you envision yourself being with for a while, take as long as you feel possible and grow with that process. Go ahead, Jeide.
And as far as my lasting word, I'm gonna keep it real G. Hey, look, fuck with the folk that know how to speak to your heart, and know how to speak to your spirit. You know what I mean? It ain't much for a motherfucker to speak to your mind. All you gotta do is pick up a couple of books and watch a few YouTube episodes of shit. That don't mean you can get a certificate to talk to a motherfucker mind. That don't mean shit. Fuck with those that speak with your heart. Speak to your spirit. Because those are the motherfuckers that you can go off for years and not talk to them, and y'all gonna come back and click, and it's gonna be like y'all just talked yesterday.
Before we leave, I want to read off this last comment Pretty Rude just put up here. It says, respect the boundaries of others, even if you are with them. I fuck with that heavy. And Ms. Davis followed up by boundaries is key. Yeah, because they definitely are.
That's super fact.
If you don't have your boundaries in order, figure out what's important to you and establish them, because every relationship needs them in order to prosper. And if you don't have none, then you just inviting the door for yourself to be taken advantage of. So be mindful of that, when you're saying somebody is triggering you or someone is damaging you. Sometimes you're causing damage to yourself.
That's real. With that being said, gentlemen, it's always a pleasure. Much love, Kaang. Thank you, fam. I love you, Dash. Thank you, fam. I love you. We love one in the comment section. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being here, for your transparency, for sharing your jewels, your gems. We're going to be right back at this Wednesday, 7 p.m. PVM
Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time, you know what I mean? And with that said, we out.
For sure.